episode of the Sartorial Geek podcast is sponsored by The Colorful Geek. If you've seen Jordan and Danae at a convention, you've probably also seen The Colorful Geek because we love each other and sell near each other whenever we can. The Colorful Geek has all kinds of super cute, nerdy clothing and accessories that are made right here in New York. And they have a special discount for you. You can use the code SartorialGeek for 20% off everything at The Colorful Geek. So go check them out and follow them at The Colorful Geek all over the internet. Hey, welcome to the Sartorial Geek podcast. I am Jordan Ellis of Jordan and Danae, and I'm here with Tiffany Mink and Matt Newman from Whosits Whatsits.
Hello.
We have had two people on it once before, but we've never had a couple on this.
Here we go. First one.
So I met Tiffany at San Diego Comic-Con last year. Was that your first SDCC panel too?
I think it was.
I think it was. Yeah, honestly,
that
so much of when it comes to San Diego Comic-Con, it all is kind of a blur. So I'm like, what year is it?
Yeah, all the years start to blur together.
Yeah, but I think that was my first one for SDCC specifically.
That was super exciting for me. It was like a fashionably nerdy, like talking either geeky fashion bloggers or geeky fashion owners were talking about all of our businesses. So I had seen a ton of your stuff before, but I hadn't met you or learned a lot about it. I know it's Disney is like the main thing that you guys love, which I'm all about, but you can give a better intro to yourself than I can.
I mean, it's all Disney inspired stuff that literally we don't reach to any other fandoms as of yet.
Cool.
It's just, that's where my passion lies. And that's kind of why Whosits and Whatsits got started, was because as a grown up Disney fan, didn't necessarily mean that I wanted Ariel on my shirt with glitter and sparkles and everything. And that at the time, that's the only thing that you could get from Disney. Everything was really kind of flashy, really kind of in your face. Yeah, very loud. And it was just, a lot of the stuff looked like things that you would love to wear inside of a Disney park, but not necessarily in your kind of day-to-day life. And I was kind of into fashion. I mean, I was not that I'm a super fashionista now, but I was definitely a t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
Yeah, but I wanted something that felt very wearable,
very low key,
and very low
subtle,
key,
but still somewhat higher class than the normal loud Disney souvenir t-shirt that they were offering.
Yeah, so it all kind of sparked from that and a really deep fandom and love for Disney itself, because quickly found out that, especially after moving out to California, there's so many amazing Disney nerds that know everything. And when you kind of bounce off some of the designs and some of the things that we pull for Whosits, it's almost like a secret club. If somebody gets the reference of your shirt, which I'm sure you experience too.
Yeah, it's awesome what you were saying about wanting clothes that talks to things you love, but also adults can still wear. That's the exact same thing. So we totally get each other with that.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah, that's so true though, because you don't always want to wear Tinkerbell with glitter wings as a, not 8-year-old anymore. And you guys' stuff is so cute. And you have accessories and clothing. It's all wearable right now, right? That's the main.
Yeah. The only kind of curveball we've done lately is we did an Oliver and Company inspired bandana.
Mm.
So still kind of wearable.
We started branching out the accessory kind of line, and we have a couple other ideas possibly coming out this year if all goes to plan.
Yeah,
cool.
But yeah, it's
beyond
continue to keep growing
and
making bigger things, kind of going beyond just t-shirts also at this point too.
Yeah, we kind of like to use the phrase beyond the basic tee.
Awesome.
So our women's cuts, we're not trying to fit everybody in a unisex tee, because
we've always been about finding nicer cuts, not just the basic, black tee for this, white tee for this. I was trying to find, women's dolman tees, women's tank tops that have a tie knot or some kind of something that makes it a bit more interesting than just a basic tee. Not that we won't still do some unisex tees for everybody, but adding a little bit more to the brand, I think,
Which I think you do also, you do like cute dolmens and you're always like doing new and cute stuff. And I think you also care about having like full size inclusion.
Yeah.
Which is something that we really like. I really, really do a lot of work to try to find cute tops for our curvier girls.
That actually look good on different bodies, not just are in different sizes. No, that's one of the reasons that I definitely wanted to talk to you guys, because anyone who shops with us who likes Disney will 100% love everything you offer. Like, I went to your website right before Emerald City. Actually, yeah, we were talking about that. I met Matt in person at Emerald City, and I had just bought one of your Robin Hood inspired shirts because I have been freaking out about Robin Hood lately. And you guys did the cutest Disney bound, like, gender swapped Robin Hood outfit I had ever seen.
Dapper Day.
Dapper Day, that's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to post a photo in the show notes. I like dropped my phone when I saw it in my feed. It was so good. I've never seen anything like that.
Thanks.
Incredible.
Honestly, I'm so proud of Matt for being so down to wear purple.
Yeah, it was the most purple I think.
I couldn't.
Like the most purple you can wear, but it was awesome.
Yeah. Thanks. So we did like a cool, I always go really ham for Dapper Day. In case like any of the listeners don't know, Disney bounding is this kind of like fashion phenomenon amongst Disney community where people wear very like normal clothes, like things that you could find in your closet, but to kind of emote a Disney character. So wearing something like, I don't know, if you were to wear a purple top and green shorts and have like a red hat on, like your Ariel.
Yeah.
And what's cool with Dapper Day is Dapper Day is like a community event in the parks that celebrates like fashions of all decades. It's really just about being chic and fashionable, whatever that means to you. And we went for 30s because I had not done that decade yet. And I really go ham on Dapper Day. And I found that dress and I was like, I love this dress. Robin Hood's my favorite. Yes. And then it just kind of spiraled out of that. But definitely still one of my favorite Disney bounds I think I've done.
It's so awesome.
And the animal one is really cool. I don't know if you've seen that one. I've seen that one. That one's wild. It's like 70s animal from the Muppets.
Awesome.
It's really good.
So is you also have, you have the business, but you have like more going on online than just your company and your apparel. Like you are like a personality too, and you do like fashion. Is that like, which one were you doing first, or did they both just kind of happen together?
Whosits, we've had Whosits. Like I started it since 2000, back in 2011.
Me too. Oh, I love that.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
I love this.
Jamie from Espionage too. Like everyone I'm talking to, I think there was a lack of cool adult things then. And we were all like, we need stuff. So that's perfect.
There was only like 3 brands that were kind of doing what we were doing in 2011. Like we were on the cusp of that whole trend, and then now it's kind of hard to open up Instagram and not see a brand trying to do that.
True. That's so true.
But we could say we were there at the beginning, I guess.
Yeah. Did you guys start it together?
No, I started it. So it was an Etsy store when I first moved out to California because I was like, wow, it's really expensive to live out here. And I moved out here thinking that I was going to have a job with a company that I was freelancing for. And then when I came out here, they're owned by a different company. They had a hiring freeze. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I ended up like having to figure out a way to make additional income, or I was going to have to move back home. And I was applying to full-time jobs, but it's really hard to get a full-time job.
The economy wasn't awesome then either. Yeah. So
and the hiring process is never quick. So
so it was like really an Etsy store. I was making it was like almost exclusively. It was just exclusively jewelry. I was making like rack bracelets. So they were different types of like fabrics or change, and they were braided. And then I would have charms it was also Disney. So, I'd make a Cinderella one that would have a silver chain and this silver thread and this blue ribbon. And then I would put a little, high heel charm on it.
Just lots of trips to Michael's.
Yeah. It was, my hands were so my fingers were tired of braiding. But yeah, it started then with just like finding something that I enjoyed doing, but legit as a way to try to not have to move back home.
You know what? That's super valid.
So yeah, super low cost startup.
Yeah, and then you had what really kicked you off was the beanie, though.
Yeah, it was way before. So Disney bounding right now, I feel like it's been around forever, but it wasn't like if you're in the Disney fandom, like you're pretty like privy to what it is. But back then, that like wasn't really a thing.
Yeah, did it even exist then, or is it
the word Disney bound wasn't even a thing?
No, not when you started the Etsy store.
But when I did so before that even had like happened, I was like going to the parks a lot and had made like a lot of friends who were cast members, and I was just like, wow, wouldn't it be really cool if you could like wear Peter Pan's hat, but it was like a beanie.
Yeah, and you were right.
Yeah, it was one of those things where like I ordered them from like a really crappy site. They were not great quality. I ordered like 80.
The cheapest thing you could find.
You know, I ordered 80 being like cool, and then they sold out in a day, and I couldn't believe it.
No way.
They sold out in a few hours, and at that point I'd met Matt.
We had just
we worked previously together at another job. So you were kind of there. Because I feel like I remember talking to you about it in that office, and I was like,
one day and you brought it up, like how they all went. And I was only half listening at the time.
we were just friends at the time.
But then I think you ordered more, and then they sold out, and then it just kept happening and kept happening, and kind of the beanie led to making Whosits and Whatsits bigger, and then you made shirts. Like, was it?
Our very first one, our first tease was, I did actually used to airbrush t-shirts.
No way.
Yeah, I would make like stencils and airbrush, like I was hand airbrushing shirts.
Oh my gosh. Do you still have any of those? Like, do those still exist, or are they?
Yeah, they're around.
There's some fans out there who've been following you still have one.
Yeah, there's definitely some out there.
If you are listening and you have one of those, send me a picture. That's so great. I love it.
Yeah, and even then, like those shirts were still really subtle, and they were still, not like.
Yeah, it's probably stuff you shouldn't.
Yeah, there's definitely some things that like from a copyright aspect that shouldn't have done.
Totally. We all started like that on Etsy, if we're being honest.
You have to learn.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
So and just kind of learned like very. Learned very earnestly that there was a big group of people that felt the same way and were looking for the same things, because Disney wasn't making it. Nobody else was making it.
Yeah.
So if we wanted it, it was like, I'm going to make this because this is what I want. And there's a ton of people that also want that.
There was a market. There was a need from the Disney fans. And we started fulfilling that need, I think. And we moved into...
Oh, go ahead. No, I totally cut you off. You go.
No, I was just saying that we continued with the beanie, and then I came in and helped on the shirts, and then just kind of grew to shirts, to hats, to jackets. We'll keep going up, really.
That's so awesome. And I love too, like, so I mean, if you're a Disney fan, like the big players, like like all the 6 main princesses and all their their biggest songs. But I love that you guys pull the things that maybe don't get a lot of play, but that people really love. Like, I mean, the fact that you have Robin Hood shirts is amazing, because that's a ton of people. I mean, we started a Robin Hood fan club on Facebook because so many of us love it. Oh yeah. Oh, you should be in it. It's the best. But
I was like, please invite me.
It doesn't get a lot of play. Like you can't really find stuff like that. And then some of the songs that you reference, are cool because they're not like the main one that everyone thinks of that you see on all the merch. It's like, oh yeah, I do love that song. I just don't see it anywhere. So I love that it's like real fans making real things that we actually like.
Yeah, this is what's really funny about it. And anyone that's like a true Disney fan will absolutely tell you, but there's a lot of very kind-hearted pretension in the Disney fandom. And I think that runs across like any fandoms really, but everybody like wants to be the biggest Disney fan. Everybody like, I like Black Cauldron. And like people really like kind of latch on to the things that aren't so, in your face and so popular, like the Cinderellas.
Right.
People really love the more oddball things. And there's so many great stories that Disney's done and so many amazing characters that unless you're a Disney fan, you just simply don't know.
Yeah.
So when you do know it and you do care about it so deeply, to find anything about that, people just kind of blow their gasket. Like,
you did an Oliver and Company.
I know.
Like,
that was exactly
like, who
what
does
I thought.
Oliver and Company?
It's awesome.
Yeah. So it really goes back to like those deep cuts. Cause I mean, we don't make anything that I don't personally want to wear and what I don't personally back or think that other people would love. Like, I am such an Enchanted fan.
Yeah.
And Enchanted is not merchandise whatsoever at all. Like, people, I feel like, forget about it. And it's my favorite Disney movie.
Yeah, we have a very strong vetting process, I would say. So much is on my cutting room floor, my computer, from designs that just were like, yeah, let's do this. That's not working the way we think it's going to work, and then it gets cut. And we spend a lot of time on our designs and are very articulated. What's the word?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell, like, everything looks like it has been through a rigorous process because you only have like the best at the end, which is awesome. Thanks. How does it work? Like, do you guys do the same thing, different things? Do you have like different roles in the business, or do you overlap? There's some overlap, but I do think like Matt really takes the reins when it comes to design stuff because that's his background.
Cool. Yeah.
So we'll talk about concepts and like, even if it's just like, you know what, like we need to represent something for this movie, then, we'll like talk about some ideas, concepts, we'll watch the movie. I can really badly sketch some things sometimes and try to pass them off, but Matt does all of that. Well, you'd really take the reins on that. Yeah,
I would say, there's never a way that like it always works. Sometimes it's like you come up with, the concept and I run with it, or sometimes I'll have a concept and run with it and you won't understand until I've shown it to you. Then you go, oh, I see what you're doing. And then like we run with it. But yeah, the best ones have always worked when we both like kind of watch a movie together and then figure it out from there. She's kind of is better at the concepting. I kind of be the one that puts it all together graphically, and then we just kind of go through version after version until it's right.
That's awesome, though.
There's definitely other aspects of the, like, when it comes to like the finances and the books,
God, yeah.
like, when it comes to stuff like that, like
to make this company run.
Yeah, like I kind of manage all that part.
Think about and realize that how much of our time gets pulled away from doing social media every day, doing, just our own finances, buying materials, buying stock, all those things, going to the printer,
really fun stuff. Yeah.
All the stuff that no one gets to see, that does take a lot of our time. And yeah, we switch hats on that constantly.
That's good of you guys, though, that one of you doesn't get stuck with all the boring stuff. That's awesome. That's the way it should go.
Except finance. Like I give her she's the CFO.
I'm like
I don't want to touch it. I don't. So. Just put me in a dark corner with my computer and I'll make a design or something.
That's awesome. Do you guys spend a lot of time at the parks? Because you live near, right?
Yes.
You live near the one? Cool.
Yeah.
Well, the one in California. So the rest of the city.
The original.
The original.
Yeah. The OG.
The only one actually walked in. So I will go on average once a week.
Cool.
It's like 15, 20 minutes there to get there. And but this last week, I think I was there like 4 times.
Pixar Fest. Yeah, if there's a special event that kicks in, I think you go quite often.
Yeah, because I go so frequently. Anything that new that happens in the park, like at the time, this is going to come out later, but like today, a new restaurant just opened, and I'm like, do I have time to go today? I'm always like there for all the new stuff and the whatever is happening in the park. Because I have a YouTube channel also, and my Instagram, like my personal brand online is all Disney related. So anyway, I can kind of get content, because at this point, people come to me and ask for hey, I'm going to Disneyland for my 20th birthday. Like, where should I go eat? Or, I'm taking my family. Like, what's the first attraction we should do? So people kind of look to me for a source for all that information,
advice,
which is pretty cool because it justifies my craziness and all of my time spent there, that I can be kind of a source of information for these people to help, help them have a great time in the park. And I think,
yeah, what's the best way to find you? Like if someone is like, oh, I actually am going and I need that information. Is it your YouTube channel or?
I would start with YouTube. My YouTube channel is just Tiffany Mink. It's just my name. But I would also jump onto, I was on an old collab channel called Thingamavlogs. And it was me and like 3 of my other friends. And we started doing a Disney video every day. And then we went to one a week because it was insane. But
yeah, wow.
Schedules got busier and busier. And then to the point where the group channel is gone, but you each have your individual channels going. And you're still doing Disney stuff on the regular.
Yeah. So that like my YouTube and like my Instagram, which is just at Tiff Mink, but I'm always posting stuff about the parks and I'm like writing for a new publication right now called Attractions Magazine about park things. And yeah, it's pretty,
awesome.
It's pretty cool. Like it's nice to be so immersed in like what you love and still be able to do like all of these different things.
And that's information you always want. Like you don't want to take a vacation and not know, like, and then get home and realize you missed something. So that's so awesome that you keep everyone updated on like a new thing that opened that you wouldn't know unless you live here. So that's super cool.
Yeah, that's the thing with like, I hear so many people, this is just like a personal rant. I hear so many people like being like, oh, Disneyland is so much better than Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World is so whatever. And it's like Walt Disney World if you're used to Disneyland, Walt Disney World is 12 times the size
huge.
of what we have here at least.
Yeah.
And that's when it comes to like park planning and being prepared for any like vacation you do to the parks makes it so much more enjoyable experience because it can be so overwhelming and so daunting. Even when it comes like, where should we get lunch?
Right.
You can have an existential crisis of not even like knowing where to go get lunch because you're only there for that one day. So if you go to this restaurant, is that the best one? Or like this one across the park that you've never heard of? So yeah, it's like, it's nice to like do the research and to be able to like I said, help people have like a better experience and the best vacation they can because people will remember their Disney vacations for the rest of their life. Oh my
gosh.
Literally 100%. The rest of their life. And that's like what's I think pretty humbling and pretty amazing with Whosits is there's so many people that will purchase from Whosits specifically to wear on their park vacations. And it's really incredible to me that like, this person's going to meet Mickey Mouse for the first time and they chose to wear something that we made.
Yeah, it's very humbling.
That's truly amazing to me because they're never going to forget that trip and like being a part of that memory. Like, I get like a little emotional sometimes because I'm just like,
we see them in their Instagram and they like tag us and we see their photos. And someone did a baby announcement photo with wearing our shirt.
Oh my god!
Because the shirt says "Dreams Come True" and they did their baby sonogram picture with it.
Stop!
And I was like, wow!
Now I'm gonna cry.
It's like that means a lot to us to see that.
Yeah, it's like on the outside, it's like, oh, cool, they make T-shirts and hats. But it's like people like these things, it means something to somebody, like Disney means everything to me and Disney means everything to so many other people that it's like, it's a very real thing and to be a part of it and to be so like accepted. And I think, very appreciated in that kind of space is pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's so true because Disney has been around for so long that like, our parents watched Disney and then our generation did and then the next generation has. So it's like so huge and has so many, you're right, so many memories and so many like special moments. That's awesome. Do you guys have a recommendation for like a favorite, like a sneaky favorite Disney movie or like a movie that people probably saw once when they were a kid and they should go back and watch? Like, do you have like a favorite movie no one remembers or talks about?
Ooh. Besides Robin Hood, which we've made very clear, is very underappreciated. Honestly, and this is going to be like a weird one, I feel like Fox and the Hound.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That movie has so much weight to it and is so great on so many levels. Like you're like, oh my, like you want to cry because it's adorable. And then you want to cry because it's like heartbreaking. I feel like that I remember as a kid like really responding and crying to that movie. And it's one of those, I'm like, it's really hard to watch as an adult, which we found out recently. We hadn't watched Dumbo in forever.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yikes.
Yes.
Dumbo as an adult is the most upsetting movie ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Super depressing.
You're exactly right about that.
Oh my gosh. Dumbo.
I mean, what I would say, like, not someone that somebody's rewatched, but it's kind of getting a resurgence now, is Emperor's New Groove.
Oh.
Because that came out during a time, I think, when CG and Pixar was becoming a big thing, and this movie gets forgotten, but I've noticed a lot of fans are bringing it back up again, but it's kind of become a cult classic. Emperor's New Groove is a hilarious film with so many good quotable pieces from that people just, it got forgotten when it came out, and I remember seeing it the first time going, that was all right, but then watching it over again as an adult, I am on the floor hysterically laughing.
It really holds up. It's pretty amazing how well that movie holds up. How did I not find this
so funny the first time? It was so funny.
God, yeah, that's a good one.
I knew you guys would nail that, and I'm glad I asked because that's perfect. Do you have any new stuff that you want to tease, or should people just follow you to get updates?
I mean, so we've just released a new shirt, kind of, this Pixar fest. Everybody's talking like Pixar, Pixar, Pixar. So we have our first pocket tee. And it's the hi, I'm Woody, howdy, 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 where the shark pops out of the toy chest and has Woody's hat on, so he's popping out of the pocket saying howdy, howdy, howdy.
Oh my gosh.
Like, a lot of our tees also have a very distinct design style. Like, our joggers are like street style. We have stuff that's like a quotable tees. Our Stars of Triton looks like a rock concert tee, whereas this new one that we have coming out is kind of, what's the artist's name? Shel Eberstein?
Oh, it's a little like Shel Silverstein.
Shel Silverstein.
Oh, cool.
It's like a very different
the
vibe than what we've done.
For this.
Yeah.
For this.
Oh, that makes so much sense. That's perfect together.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It feels fun. It's a super fun one.
It's very minimal. It's a very small part of that film that people may or may not remember.
God, the response of that tee when we first announced it.
We do have teased it.
Off the
response
roof.
has been great so far, and we can't wait to release it. Should be coming
That's what I'm saying. When you pick out the thing that everyone loved that then no one ever talked about again except for the fans, it's perfect. That's awesome.
So everybody's really hot on like that like early 2000s skate vibe.
Yeah.
You know? So we're doing a Man's Red Flower kind of old school looking skate tee.
It looks like a skater.
And it's like there's like flames and like it's
kind of like
pretty
those Thrasher
great.
shirts that we keep seeing around in like Forever 21.
Yeah.
Kind of pulling from that kind of style, I guess. That
aesthetic is like such a thing right now.
So awesome.
Yeah. And it'll be our first like Jungle Book related
I've been
piece
excited
too.
to
So
do Jungle Book. Jungle Book is probably on the top of my favorites movies. So it's been really hard to pull something out of it that is not character based and not
That was one of the like 5 VHSs I had as a kid of Disney. So I have seen that 1 million times and I love it. That's so awesome.
Yeah. And then really like the biggest thing we're doing right now, we're gearing up for MegaCon.
Oh yeah.
In Orlando. So we have done conventions throughout like Southern California, but this is our first out of state.
Yeah, we've been asked for years to come to New York, come to Florida, come to all these states, and we've tried. It's been a logistical kind of conundrum.
I understand that.
For sure.
You totally get it. We met in Seattle, and you go all over the country. So we're trying to figure it out on our side about how to basically bring as much as we can of our store out to the East Coast, and finally we've been able to do it for MegaCon Orlando. That's at the end of May.
Yeah,
and it'll be our first time out of California, so we're very, very excited to see the response.
That's so
if we're going anywhere outside of California, why would we not
Florida.
go outside of Walt Disney World? Yeah.
It's very on brand.
So it'll be cool.
Good choice.
Yeah. It'll be cool. Like, it's really funny because we're friends with another apparel line that is kind of in a similar vein as us called Oh Yeah Apparel, and they're Orlando based. And it's funny because their customer base is more Florida based and our customer base is more California based. So it's going to be pretty exciting and hopefully works out for the best. to get some more exposure and everything in that market over there.
Introduce ourselves to the other coasts and get some new fans.
Yeah. And we're doing some exclusive stuff for that show also.
Oh, cool.
So
I think I saw. Did you tease it? I think I saw. Maybe I'm making that up. Just kidding. Maybe that's in my brain.
Maybe. I don't know.
We've already announced one thing, which is what we had at WonderCon this year in Anaheim, was our Pride Lands tee, which is a tee that we have, and it has a very 90s feel. So Tiffany thought we'd bunch it up a notch by making it on a tie-dye shirt.
Matt hates it.
That is exactly what I was thinking, so I'm glad I'm not totally crazy. I saw that, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Everyone loves a tie-dye. My personal aesthetic is not a tie-dye, but I will be happy to put it on a tie-dye shirt. So.
One of the other shirts that we love is I love it so much, is like the Dreams Come True one, because it kind of echoes the classic ear hats where you can get Dreams Come True or you get your name embroidered on it. So the back of the shirt is Dreams Come True and like that yellow embroidered looking
that old school
font.
Yellow embroidery. And
then the front of the one that we currently have is a little flag that's 1955 because that's the year Disneyland opened. So we're doing a version of that is 1971, and we've changed the aesthetic of the flag a little bit so it kind of makes more sense, specifically for Walt Disney World fans. So we'll be debuting that there as well.
Yeah, that one we haven't announced or teased yet.
Well, we have now.
So there's another one.
That is awesome.
Giving away all our secrets.
So everyone who is going to MegaCon should find you guys. And then where should everyone find you online?
We're Whosits Whatsits across the board.
Whositswhatsits.com. The shop. And
Whositswhatsits.com, at Whosits Whatsits everywhere.
Instagrams, Twitters.
It's spelled with S's and not Z's.
Yes,
so if it's easy to remember with Whosits and Whatsits galore, but it's WHOSITS, nope, canceled.
Yeah.
I'm canceled. I'm fired.
We wonder now if we should have chosen an easier name for our company.
Who sits? What sits? That's the best way to.
Well, and we will link to everything in the show notes too. So if anyone doesn't want to try to spell it, they can just go there. We'll have all your links. But Tiffany Mink is very easy to spell. So I'm sure you can find everything from there.
Yeah, Matt is far more elusive online.
That's okay. As long as one of you is everywhere, that's fine. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for chatting. I want to go watch every Disney movie.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
This is the best. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see each other in person at a con.
Hopefully, yeah.
Very soon. Awesome. Thank you all so much for listening. If you enjoy our episodes, you can subscribe. If you want to leave us a rating or review, that would be wonderful. And you can check out our Patreon too. So have a great week. We'll talk to you later and stay nerdy. Bye.